Hi there, I'm the Declutter Homemaker. I love gentle shifts that make life at home feel less chaotic. And honestly, these small shifts have brought more peace into my own spaces than any storage bin ever could. Wherever you are, big house or tiny apartment, family of 5 or living solo, we're all craving the same thing, a home that doesn't exhaust us. One that feels like an exhale after a long day. That's why today I'm not just sharing organizing tips. I'm sharing 12 small things you might be holding onto that are secretly making your home feel heavier. Not just physically, but emotionally too. I used to think I needed better routines, prettier systems, smarter tools. But what do I really need? Less. Less to clean, less to manage, less of that. Why is this still here feeling every time I opened a drawer? These 12 things helped me reclaim not just space, but energy. And the first one, it's hiding right there on your shelf collecting dust. Let's take a look. Let's start with the first type. Sometimes you walk past a shelf and catch a glimpse of something you don't even remember buying. A little statue, a faded candle holder, a random souvenir from a trip that doesn't feel like you anymore. It's not that you dislike it, but you also don't enjoy it. It just lives there, gathering dust, taking up space, adding visual noise to a space you want to feel calm in. I used to keep things like that thinking, well, it's not hurting anything. But slowly I realized it was. Not physically, but mentally. I was spending time cleaning things I didn't even like, and I was looking at shelves that didn't make me feel anything good. So next time you're wiping down a shelf or moving things to clean, pause. Hold each item and ask yourself, if I saw this in a store today, would I buy it? If the answer is no, it doesn't need to take up your shelf or your energy. I once had a purple ceramic vase. I think it was a gift, but honestly, I couldn't remember who gave it to me. Every time I cleaned around it, I'd sigh. It didn't belong anymore, not to my taste, not to my life now. So one day I took it down, and that shelf, it finally felt like mine again. We always think letting go will feel wasteful, but what actually feels wasteful is keeping things that don't bring anything good into your day. And if you've ever held something in your hands and thought, why is this so hard to get rid of? Tomorrow's video is going to explain exactly that. Because letting go has way less to do with the object and way more to do with the story behind it. And once you understand that, decluttering gets a whole lot easier. Next, let's talk about a type of clutter that shows up every single holiday, even when you never put it out. Next is the second type, holiday decor, that quietly sits in storage year after year, waiting for a moment that never quite comes. At first, it felt joyful lights for Christmas, little hearts for Valentine's, pastel eggs for Easter. You imagined pulling them out each year, creating sweet little traditions. But then, life shifted. The kids got older. You got busier, and suddenly, those bins never even made it upstairs. You might still love the idea of decorating. But if it's been years since you actually did it, maybe you've outgrown that version of yourself. And that's not failure, that's evolution. I had a box of fall decorations, all orange and plaid and rustic. I used to put it out every October like clockwork. But 3 years passed and I didn't touch it. Not once. Every time I saw the box, I felt a twinge of guilt, like I was letting go of something cozy and sentimental. But eventually I realized, the version of me who loved that decor had already moved on. Keeping the box wasn't honoring her, it was weighing down who I am now. So here's something gentle you can do: open one bin. Don't pressure yourself to get rid of it all. Just find one item you didn't use this year or even last year. If it no longer fits your style, your energy, your life, it's okay to let it go. You're not giving up the holiday spirit. You're just making space for the parts of it that still light you up. Now let's look at something smaller but surprisingly sneaky that shows up in the form of "this might be useful someday." Now we're moving into the third type, those pretty bottles, jars, and little containers you've been saving just in case. It usually starts so innocently. You finish a serum and think this bottle is too nice to throw away, or you keep a cute candle jar because you might turn it into storage someday. Before you know it, there's a small village of empty containers hiding in a drawer, all waiting for a craft project that never happens. And here's the thing, you're not keeping them because they're useful. You're keeping them because letting go feels like wasting potential. But potential isn't the same as purpose. If a jar hasn't been used in the last few months, it's not waiting for a project. It's waiting for permission, your permission to leave. One day I opened a bathroom drawer and realized I had 7 empty perfume bottles. 7. All different shapes, all too beautiful to toss. I kept telling myself I'd refill them or use them as decor or something creative. But creativity never came. They just sat there clinking together every time I opened the drawer, reminding me of how many unfinished ideas I was holding on to. So here's a simple way to reset. Pick your favorite one, just one, and let that be your keep for creativity item. Everything else goes. Suddenly, the drawer feels open again, and so do you. Because the goal isn't to collect containers for a life you might have, it's to make space for the one you're actually living. And since we're already in the realm of things that quietly crowd our homes, let's move into the kitchen, a place where hidden clutter builds up faster than we ever expect. Let's talk about the 4th type. The healthy snacks, powders, and sauces sitting quietly in the back of your pantry, unopened, untouched, and long forgotten. We buy them with good intentions. A new herbal tea you saw on Instagram. A jar of superfood powder a friend swears by. A sauce mix from that one ambitious recipe you never made. But weeks turn into months, and now they just sit there, taking up space and silently judging you. Here's the truth, holding on to food you'll never eat doesn't make you healthier. It just adds clutter to your cabinets and guilt to your day. I once kept a big tub of protein powder, vanilla flavor, organic, expensive. I used it twice. It made my smoothies taste like chalk, but I couldn't throw it out. I kept thinking, maybe I'll try it again. I didn't. It expired 2 years later, and the guilt stuck around way longer than the smoothie ever did. So here's a gentle rule you can try if you haven't touched it in 6 months and you wouldn't serve it to a friend today. Let it go. You're not throwing away health, you're throwing away pressure, because letting go of food you don't love isn't wasteful. It's a small way of saying, I trust myself to know what works for me now. And speaking of things that take up space but don't actually work, let's open that kitchen drawer filled with mismatched lids and lonely containers. Now we're on to the 5th type, those random food containers and lids that somehow never match no matter how many times you organize the drawer. You know the drill. You open the cabinet to pack up leftovers, grab a container you think has a lid, and spend the next 5 minutes digging through a pile of mystery plastic. Sometimes the lid's just missing, sometimes it's there, but it doesn't fit anymore, warped from the dishwasher, or never really matched to begin with. At some point, the container lid situation becomes less about function and more about frustration. I remember pulling everything out once and realizing I had 7 lids with no bottoms and 4 containers that hadn't had a matching lid in years. I kept them just in case, but that case never came. What came instead? Stress every time I needed something that worked. So here's a little reset trick. Lay everything out on the counter. Take 5 minutes, no more. Match as many as you can. If something doesn't have a pair, or the lid doesn't actually fit anymore, let it go. You're not throwing out storage, you're clearing room for systems that actually support you. Because the goal isn't to have more containers, it's to have the right ones ready when you need them. And while we're talking about soft clutter in hidden corners, let's take a look at what's been quietly piling up in your linen closet. Now let's look at the 6th type, all the old towels, mismatched sheets, and backup blankets you're keeping just in case. It feels practical after all. What if guests come? What if the washing machine breaks, but over time those stacks start overflowing? And when your linen closet is stuffed to the brim, it doesn't feel like preparation anymore. It feels like pressure. I once pulled everything out of ours and found 12 bath towels. Only 3 of us live here. Some were scratchy, some were stained. A few had that permanent damp smell no wash could fix, but still I'd kept them just in case. Just in case of what? A surprise pool party for 15. So here's a gentler way to think about it. Keep what you actually use, add 1 or 2 extras per person max, and donate the rest. Animal shelters are almost always grateful for old towels and blankets, especially the worn-out ones we wouldn't use for guests. You don't need to be ready for every possible scenario. You just need to feel at ease with the one you're actually living. And while we're still in that storage overflow zone, there's one more category that often takes up entire corners of the house, but no one ever sits in them. Now we're at the 7th type, that little side table, decorative bench, or extra chair you added to fill the space but no one actually uses. At first it made sense. That empty corner felt awkward. The guest room needed something. But over time, that something becomes a catch-all, a place where laundry piles up, or a chair that's just too low, too wobbly, or too tucked away to ever be sat in. I had a narrow bench by the entryway. I thought it would be great for putting on shoes. In reality, it turned into a drop zone for bags, receipts, jackets, and anything I didn't want to carry upstairs. No one ever sat on it. It didn't support the space, it just became part of the clutter. So here's something to try. Walk through your home and notice which furniture pieces you use, not just which ones you have. Ask yourself, if this wasn't here already, would I add it today? If the answer is no, you might not need it at all. Because sometimes an open corner does more for your peace of mind than the prettiest shelf ever could. And now that we've cleared the physical bulk, let's move into a different kind of clutter, the kind that looks impressive on a shelf, but quietly weighs you down inside. Now let's move into the 8th type, the books you've kept for years, fully convinced you'll read them when things slow down, but they never do. Books carry a different kind of weight. They feel smart, sentimental, even aspirational. A shelf full of them looks impressive, like a reflection of who we hope to be someday. But when you're honest with yourself, some of those books haven't been touched in years. Some were never opened at all. I had a stack of classic novels I kept because I felt like I should read them. Every time I dusted that shelf, I felt a tiny sting of guilt, like I was disappointing some imaginary version of myself. But the truth was simple: if a book hasn't pulled me in yet, it probably never will. And that's okay. Here's a gentle approach. Choose the books you genuinely love, the ones you'd happily read again or recommend to a friend. Keep those. Then look at the rest and ask, does this support who I am today, or is it tied to who I thought I should become? That one question alone can clear an entire shelf. A curated collection is so much more inspiring than a crowded one. When your shelf only holds books that speak to you, it becomes a place you actually want to look at, not one that whispers reminders of unfinished intentions. And since we're already talking about small things that pile up quietly, the next category is one almost every bathroom drawer knows too well. Now, meet the 9th type. All those tiny products, the mini lotions, perfume samples, tea packets, hotel-sized shampoos that seem harmless because they're small but somehow end up everywhere. They're the easiest things to say yes to. It's free. It's small. I might try it later. And for a moment that feels true. But months pass and those little packets gather in drawers, makeup bags, baskets, and travel kits. They don't take up much space individually, but together they create this quiet sense of clutter you can't quite name. I once opened my bathroom drawer and found 7 mini moisturizers. 7, all untouched. I kept thinking, maybe I'll use these for travel. But when travel actually came, I packed the products I genuinely trusted, not the random samples I'd collected. Those minis weren't waiting to be used. They were waiting for me to admit they weren't for me. So here's an easy way to reset. Pull out every sample you can find and sort them into 2 piles, I would actually use this today, and I'd only use this because it's free. Keep the first pile. Let the second one go. Gift them, donate them if possible, or simply toss what's expired. Because you deserve to choose products you genuinely enjoy, not ones you keep out of obligation or curiosity you no longer have. And now that we've tackled the tiny clutter, let's move to the things we keep, just in case, even when we already know we'll never fix them. And finally, the 10th type, the umbrella with a bent arm, the jacket with a broken zipper, the drawer knob that came off, and all the other just needs a quick fix items that have quietly waited for years. We tell ourselves we'll get around to them. I just need to find the right glue. I'll drop it at the tailor next week. But let's be honest, if something's been broken for more than 3 months and it's still sitting in the same spot, chances are it's not getting fixed. I once kept a hand mixer for over 2 years. It still worked sort of, but the beaters kept popping out mid-use. Every time I'd get annoyed and say, I need to replace this. But I never did. I kept trying to make it work, even though it clearly wasn't. One day, I finally let it go. And you know what happened? Nothing. I found simpler ways to cook, and the drawer felt lighter the second it was gone. Here's a helpful reframe if something's been broken longer than it takes to replace it. It's not a priority, it's a placeholder. And it's okay to let it go, because sometimes the real repair isn't about the object. It's about fixing the way we carry too many half-finished decisions around in our homes. And now that we've made space by letting go of what no longer serves us, it's time to gently return to the heart of decluttering. Not just what you're letting go of, but why it felt so hard in the first place. That's the kind of clutter I've been gently letting go of, not all at once, but little by little in ways that actually made my home feel better to live in. If you've been craving more breathing room, not just in your space, but in your day, maybe this is your sign to start small and let one thing go today. And if you've ever stood frozen in front of a drawer or shelf, not knowing why something's so hard to part with, I have a whole video about that coming up. It's all about the emotional side of decluttering, and it might be the piece you didn't know you needed. Sometimes it's not about the stuff, it's about the stories we've tied to them, and tomorrow's video will dig into that deeper. If you've ever felt like decluttering should be easier, but somehow it's not, you won't want to miss it. It's the kind of shift that changes everything. If this video helped even a little, feel free to hit like it lets me know what truly supports you. And if you'd like more ways to make your home feel lighter, subscribe for more calm, clutter-free content.